Okay, so as you can, I have started the recording. So as you can see on my screen, today we are going to see very important concept in Selenium, okay, which is Maven. So whatever the framework you are going to build in the upcoming section. So this topic is a must, okay. So because we are going to build entire framework inside this Maven only, right? So this is a very important topic. Okay, so before that, let us see what is the definition part. Maven is a powerful project management tool, which means that it will help you to create your project and manage your project as well at the same time. And it is based on this POM XML. So this XML, which is called project object model, right? This is the main file of Maven. Without this file, Maven is nothing. Okay, so we will see this file shortly. So if someone asks you that how Maven will help you in building and managing the project, then you can explain these 4 points. So first of all, it helps in maintaining the common project structure across the organization. So let us take the example of some company, right? So in that company, there are many teams, and each team will going to work on some project. And if you want that every team should have same project structure, then Maven will do that for you. So project structure, Maven will help you in that. So what I'm trying to say, uh, here in the Eclipse as well, suppose there is one team which created a package, and inside the package it created the class. So this is the one team. This is which they are going to design their framework this way. And there is one team that will have package, and inside that package there is one other package, and inside that they are defining their class. So it's up to them that how they are using this. And there is one more package inside second package, they're defining the class. So this is the okay. So this there can be n number of approaches that every team must use. But if I want that in my organization everyone should follow some same project structure, like so that will we can achieve with the help of Maven, right? So we will see that what is this project structure when I will design one Maven project. Okay, so as of now understand that Maven will help us in doing that. Okay, so okay, so I have already written it again. Okay, so let me this. Okay, so this is the one of the most important central repository to get all the jars. So what are those jars? So and what is the central repository? So let me open one website. So open Chrome browser again. Chrome. So if I open, there is one website which is called this Maven repository. Okay, so this is one repository, or you can say you can treat this repository as a library, right? So what happens inside the library? You will find different books there. Okay, so likewise, this repository is a library. Inside that library, if you want to work with Selenium, okay. So earlier, what you used to do, let me first create one new folder, make one Eclipse project. So I will write a demo, then say Maven, any name you can give. So I want to create one Eclipse project. So let me first create it. So here I should be in the desktop. And I think it is here. Yeah, I think it is the one. Yeah. So select the folder. Here I will be making my project. Click on launch. Okay, so one more point I would like to tell you here, that here we are not discussing TestNG. Okay, so that topic is not yet completed. Okay, because Vandan was not well. So here I am just discussing that Maven topic. Okay, and from the next week onward he will take the classes, and he will resume from the TestNG part. Okay, so as of we are just concentrating on Maven. So you can see our Eclipse has launched, and suppose just the new project. Suppose create name is demo. Any name you can give. Okay, so let us wait for that to finish and click on create. Okay, so if I want to write, suppose this is the class, right? If I want to write some Selenium code here, so in the very first lecture uh, we have discussed that if we want to write one code, just go to this property and just place the Java, you can say Selenium, you can say if I come here, Selenium jar, right? From this external one. I hope you remember. Is this thing is clear to everyone, right? That how we used to do that. So copy this. Okay, so this is out, and I think two more remaining. So let me. So I hope you everyone is quite familiar with this. Please confirm. So these are the two files. Okay, so earlier we used to do this. So I think people are not clear with this as well because no one has said yes. Am I audible or not? Am I audible? Hello. Okay. So I'm asking that you know that concept that if we have to write Selenium code here, then we have to first place the jar here. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. So this is one way. So suppose, so let me open that path again. Right click and come to property. So this is the path. You can see what is the path here. See user submit goal downloads. Okay, so this is the path. Suppose you want to give this project to some other person, right? So that person will going to use this project. So you are giving him. So what will happen when he try to run this? First, he will open that project in their Eclipse console. After that, if you try to run, he will not going to get this file. All these jar files, whatever I have defined here, okay, I pasted here from my external directory. He is not going to get this. Why? Because in, that person will going to have some other path in his computer, right? So what he have to do? He have these files are no use to him. He will again just download the Selenium jar and configure the path. So after that, he will be able to write the code here. But the issue is, okay, likewise, suppose 50% you have to distribute the your project to 50%. Then all those 50% have to again list the jar file because that path is not going to be present in their system because I provided the path from my system, so there the path will be different. So again, all the 50 people have to download the jar and place the jar one by one. So this approach will not going to be very good. So to avoid that, we will use this Maven as well, right? So Maven will, with the help of Maven, even if you distribute your project to 1,000 person, right? So those 1,000 person do not have to again and again place their jar files in their system. So this is also one of the advantage you can get with the Maven. So this is what the second point says. This is the central repository to get all the jar. You do not have to give the dependency. You can say give the jar every time from local system, right? So this is how Maven will help you, and this is the one of the, I can say, advantage. And what is the third advantage? Maven helps us to integrate with the Jenkins tool. So what is this Jenkins tool? As of now, we do not have discussed, but let me tell you in brief. So suppose every day you come to office and you want some 100 test case. What I'm trying to do, some 100 test case should automatically trigger every time, right? When you come to office every time, every day, those 100 test cases should trigger automatically before you reach office. So this tool, Jenkins tool, will going to help you in doing that, right? So this is the power of Jenkins tool. So to work with the Jenkins tool, Maven will help us to communicate, or you can say Maven will help us to work with this Jenkins tools as well, right? So you can set some combination so that this tool, Jenkins tool, will identify your project in Eclipse, because as it was a Maven project, and then you can work with this tool as well, right? So as of now, we are not discussing this tool. We are going to discuss Maven first, okay? So this is the one of the benefit. If you want to use Jenkins tool, then Maven will help us to integrate that tool with your project. So this is also one of the important point. You can work with the test engine inside Maven. So I think test engine one class is already done in this batch. Please confirm. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So till now, how you are doing the test engine? Just like right clicking and then incorporating every jar inside that project. Okay. So here we will see in this lecture only Maven. If you design one Maven project, then also you can use test ng inside Maven, right? How we will see it in this lecture only. So as of now, these are the four main advantages. Okay, so you can tell to the interviewer that what are the advantages of the Maven in this four point, right? So after that, before beginning with the Maven, let us first try to set up the Maven, right? How to install that Maven, let us see. So this is the website. So even if I do not want to go with the website, just write Maven and Maven installation. Maven installation. I think this is the one. Let me open this. Okay. Okay, so this is not the part. Okay, so let me copy the website. Wait, link name. Copy this link and just paste it in the browser. Okay, I think it was download Maven. Let us try. Yeah, this is the one. So just write this download Maven, and after that click this first link. So this is the same path I provided in my WordPad MS Word. So after that, this is the one. Okay, you just download this file, second one. Okay, so these are not required. Okay, so just close this one. If you are working in Windows, you can click this. After that, a file will be downloaded. So once this file will download, so let us wait for it to finish. Okay, I think I am already having it. So okay, so once you will get the file, you will get like that in the zip format, right? This is the file, and after that you have to extract this file. So once I will extract, it will look like that. So this is the file. Come inside. So first you have to set this path. So this is the path where your Maven is present, Maven you have installed. So you have to first give the path from here to here in your system variable, just like you did for Java. So how you did for Java? This PC, come to this PC, because I think you can do it right click from here in this. Okay, so right click, come to properties, and inside that you can go to this advanced system setting, come to click on this environment variable, and inside that click on new, right, and paste the path here. So what is this path? This path is from, so this is our actual file after extraction, and click inside this. So till this path you have to provide that path from here to we can see, okay, yeah, here provide the path and define one name. So you can give the name like Maven path, any name you can like, you can give. So this is the one. After that you have to click on OK. But as you can see that I am having one more, I am already having that in my machine. So as of now I will not click OK. So let me click this. What will happen? You can see this part will, but I am again already having this file, right, which is the variable name Maven underscore home. So you can give any name, and after that you will see this path. So as of now, let me delete this because I do not want two paths, two exact paths. So let me delete this. Okay, so this is the path I am having, already having that Maven. After that, come to this path, double click this. Okay, so inside here, what is the path you have to provide? Click this one folder. So these are the same steps which we have followed for Java installation, as you remember. So copy this path and just place it in this path variable. Double click and paste it here, right? So again, I will not going to click OK because you can see the top one. I am already having that path filled in. If I try to, you can see that slash in, right? So you have to give the path. Let me delete this as of now. I am already having it, and after that click on OK. Okay. So let me click cancel this time, and after that you have to click OK. So this way we have just defined where in your system Maven is present. If you want to check whether the Maven installation is successful or not, come to command prompt and type Maven hyphen version. So you will going to get some. So this is the so this is telling what is the Maven version which my machine is running. Okay, if you see this, which means installation is successful. So is it clear to everyone that installation part? Okay. So we have covered this one. So let us understand some terminologies related to Maven. So let me come to this. Again, Maven repository is the website. Okay, so this is the website we are going to use for Maven. 99% of the time. So Maven repository, right? Open this again. If I open, so suppose if I want to work with Selenium, right? So I want Selenium jar. Okay. So what is the language I am using? Java. So I am typing. I will type Selenium. Anyone wants to say something? Okay. So I want to get the jar file. Okay. Of the Selenium. So what is the language I am using? Java. So Selenium Java. Click this. Okay. So here you will find so many versions, right? These are the old version. If I come to the top, this is the latest version, and likewise this is the latest version, right? So it's up to you, anyone you want to choose, right? But I will suggest you to go with this one or this one, right? Because these are the latest one as well, because I was getting some kind of issue when I was uh, trying to get these jars from this link. So better go with this one, okay? But I will suggest you to go with this one. Okay, you can try, you can go with this one as well. Okay, but I am going with this one as of now. Okay, because that seems more stable to me. So click this anyone, and okay, so here you will find one file. So if I copy this file, okay, so I have already pasted by copying this file. Okay, let me explain it here. So what is this group ID? There is one group ID. It is just like your project name, right? Suppose this is your project name. Okay, so if I open that website again, so in this repository, okay, if I open this repository, so this Selenium is one our you can say project. Okay, so there is one more tool which is called APM. If you want to automate your mobile application, then you can use APM. So this is also okay. So if I search it APM, so let me go with this one. So what is this group ID is? If I open this any latest version, so this is, you will see that the group ID is different here. So that group ID will going to uniquely identify your project. Okay, every time. So likewise, there can be thousands of such projects here. So if you want to work with any particular project, I am saying that group in the group ID I will say that. So here again, I have already written it. This group ID, it is your project name. So Maven will first come to your project name, and then it will look for the artifact. We will discuss this. What is this artifact? Okay. So let us understand first, then we will discuss. So the full form of this pom.xml is project object model. Okay. So after that, what is this artifact? It is a file. It is a jar file. Mostly, many of the time, whenever going to use this, you will going to get jar files. So these are the same jar files, okay, which you are downloading from that website, and again one by one you are going to provide that to the project. But here we will not download. So this artifact is a jar file. So this is this ID is a jar file. If I come here, so what this artifact ID saying, I am saying, give me all the jars related to Selenium Java. This is the thing that artifact ID is saying. So what will happen? And this is the version. So what is the version number they are defined here? So what will happen when you will provide this file? Okay, I will show you where you will provide this file. But as of now, let us understand when you provide this entire text in that file, where you have to provide in this pom.xml, right? So there is one file. This XML file is the main file related to Maven. So you will going to provide that file here. Okay, sorry, that text here. So once you will provide, what will happen? So as this is your project name, so Maven will first come to that project name. So it identified, okay, that person required that this is the project name it has the person is provided, and once it get the project name, it will come to that artifact ID. So here in the artifact ID, I am saying give me all the jars related to Selenium in my project. So once it will read this, it will going to give you the entire jars which are necessary to run Selenium test case on your Eclipse. And this is the version, right? So so is it clear to everyone what is this group ID artifact and version? Then I will proceed forward. At least say yes or no, how I will know whether it is okay. I hope it is clear to everyone. Then I will proceed forward. So after that, what I will do, let me open the Eclipse again. Here I am going to create one. So let me delete this. We do not require this. Okay, this is a normal Java project. So let me delete this. Do not require. So let me remove this. Look and continue. Okay. Let me create one Maven project. So how to create a Maven project? Click on this. This time come to this Maven. Okay. After that, click this Maven project. Click on next. Okay, again click on next. So here you will find so many Maven template. Okay, so this is one of the template, and we are going to use that template, right? This is the most common one. If you are working with, if you are dealing with the testing purpose, then it is the most suitable for the testing. So click on next. Let me choose this and click on next. And here, this is important. So suppose I am having one package, sorry, not package, one project name. Let me give the project name as you can say main project. Let me give this main project. Okay, let me give this as master project. Okay, any name. So inside that master project, I will be going to suppose I will be inside that master project. I am having one small project which is Maven Dem, right? Any name can you give? So whatever this name you will provide here, okay. Once I will click finish, we are going to see your uh, project name with this name, right? Maven Demo. And what is this package? So group id.artifact id will go to be your package, okay. So you can also make some changes here if you want your package name to be like that, then you can define it here, no issue, right? But let us go with the default one. So I will not going to make any change, and this is the version, okay. Anyways, so again I'm saying the group id will be your master project. Inside that project I'm having one small project, so artifact id I will give my as project name. So once I will click finish, if you click this, it will just go to, so this is the project name, this is the artifact id, as I told you that that will going to be your project name, okay. If I expand this, so see here, this is the pom.xml file, okay. Okay, so this is the pom.xml file, this is how it looks. And so let us come to that first second point again. If I have discussed this, that it helps in maintaining the common project structure across the organization, right? So if I expand this, you can see source test Java, this is one template it has provided ready-made, right? So likewise, if all the teams will follow this, we will going to have some common structure across the organization. So what is this source test Java? Here we will going to write in this source test Java, I am going to write my test case here. Okay, suppose I have written one test case which is having the name as app test. So when you will create one test case, that test case suppose will require some data. So that data we can provide inside this file, inside the source main Java, right? So we are not going to see that this folder as of now. Okay, when we will work with framework development, then there you will see the use of this. So as of now, we are dealing with the simple test. So inside this is the package. Sorry, this is the package and this is the folder. Okay, inside that let me delete this first. Okay, I do not I want to create my own files. So let me, okay, before that, I think I have already covered. So is it clear to everyone till now? Okay, thank you. So there we are. Okay, group ID, it is the project name. Okay, so I have already told you, and this will be your. Okay, so one more thing. So let us try to do some. Okay, so let me create four classes. Okay, so if I create, if I create new class, so let me name the. Okay, give me a minute. Huh? Am I audible? Okay, okay, sure. So what I will do, let me create one class. So any name you can give. Bike test. Suppose this is the class I will give. So writing this test. Okay, so you will see. Okay, so you will see that I am going to write this test every time in front of that class name. Okay, so I will be telling you that in a short while that why I am writing this test. Okay, as of now, let us understand. Okay, let me create one class. Click on finish. This is my bike test case. This class will going to have my bike test case. Again, create one free class. Suppose this time I will create again I will write test. Why it will, I will tell you in a short while. Like this. Let me create two more classes. So that class can have my smoke test case. Smoke. So I will say smoke test case will come here, right? So smoke. Like this finish. Okay, and let me create one more class. This class will go to have my regression test case. Okay, so this is how I have created four classes. Okay, let me write test as well. Okay, so after that let me try to create few test cases. I hope you know that. So at the rate test annotation is already completed in TestNG, right? So I can use it here, right? Please confirm. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I'm not writing public static void main. So as from the second point, I think it is the one. Here I have written, if you want to work with TestNG, so TestNG having one annotation which is called at the rate test. So if you provide at the rate test in your class, then that will be treated as one test case. Okay. So after creating the Maven project, I am working with TestNG, right? So here I am writing at the rate test, and uh, let me create one test case. So here this is the bike, so I will write bike test case, and inside that I will write some general statement, right? So here we are not going to see any real code, but for the understanding purpose, let me write, once this test case will execute, I will write bike test case executed, right? So I will write like that. So just import this. I have to import this annotation. Here you will not see. So this is related to JUnit, right? So we have to work with TestNG, but here you will see I am not getting any import statement related to TestNG. And why? Because we have not right clicked our project and get the dependency of that. Okay, so to get the dependency, or you can say to get the jar files of the test. Okay, so before that I want to if I want to do like that, let me write it here only. Okay, so let us, okay, so let me create one more class. So I think let us go with this one. So suppose if I am not writing like that, and if I write public static void main, so you can write it like that, and string arguments. Okay, so if I want to trigger my Chrome browser. How I used to write, I hope you remember it. New Chrome driver. But you will see I will not be able to import the package because I have because my project do not have the knowledge of Selenium dependency, right? If I place my mouse, you can see import statement is not present. So to give this knowledge, to give this Eclipse project the knowledge of Selenium, I will come to my pom.xml file. Okay, so you can see this tag dependencies, right? And it will be going to close here, right? So inside this tag only, you can see one dependency is already present. Okay, so let me remove this. It is not required for us, or let me not remove it. Okay, it will not going to make any difference in our code. So what I am saying, this is the tag, and if I just open it, you will see only one jar file is present. Okay, what is this jar file? This jar file is present is the JUnit jar file, right, which is coming from this dependency tag. So what will happen if I want to get the Selenium dependency, or you can say the Selenium jar file from the Maven? I will not going to right click my project and every time place one by one jar files from there, from my local one. I will just come here and to this website I will search Selenium Java because I am working with the Java in Selenium. So Selenium Java, and click on search. So okay, again I have told you that you can go with this anyone, but as of now let me go with this one. This is the version, and just copy this entire file. Copy this, and once you will place it here, right? So as of now you can see there is only one jar file present, right? So these are the packages. Okay, so consider this jar file. Inside this dependencies tag, if I provide that text, so you can say what will happen once I will save the project. So Maven will see these four line, and it will first go connect to that Maven repository. So this is the link. Okay, it will connect to that website, identify the project. So this is our project, and it will identify what kind of jar you want to add to this project. Okay, so I am also we have told that I want this version jar files. Okay, so what will happen once I will press Control and save, you will going to see some files here, right? So as of now I have not pressed Control and save, but let me press Control and save from the keyboard. So you will see some files will going to be automatically loaded here. You can see this pulled all the required Selenium dependency, right? So what will happen if we do like that? All the Selenium jars are present in our project automatically, right? We will do that for you, and after we will get the required jar. Now if I try to import the package, you will see, okay, so spelling is wrong here. This is the reason I am not seeing. So if I place my mouse, you can see import WebDriver and import the Chrome driver, because you got the required jars files. So this is the reason you are not now able to get all the jar files. So is it clear to everyone that how it is pulling out the jar? Okay, so this is the uh, advantage you can get with the Maven, right? So likewise, if you give this whole project, right, whole project to some other person, right? So what will happen when he will, what I'm trying to say, if you give this project to some other person, he do, so that file will also be going to be present in this project. So if you give this project to some other person, again with the help of these four line, automatically all the jar files will going to be downloaded, right? So one more thing about the dependency part. So you might think that if I create some Eclipse project, suppose if I create one more Eclipse project, if I open the separate editor, okay, or let me go it from here only. As suppose, uh, so as of now you are seeing only one project, but suppose you have created one other project by this name, right, in the separate Eclipse IDE, and there again you will provide this. Okay, so you might think then again that Maven will going to this website, again will download the jar for you, but this is not the case. What happens, for the first time it will download, and it will save that all the files in your local directory. So where it is the path, if I will show you what I'm trying to say, for the first time only it will download. and it will save all the jar files here. I think user, yeah. So if I, so this is the .m2 folder is the one where you will going to get all your jar files. So I have worked with many projects, many things. So you can see MySQL jar file, log4j, JUnit, right? So likewise, there are, you can see so many jar files are present. So it has just stored them on your local one, and for the next time when you will again going to provide this command, first it will check, Maven will check whether you are having that dependency in this folder or not. If you will have it, then it will pull all the dependency from whatever the folders you have, and okay, and after that it will not download again. So this is how. But if you do not have the dependency, first it will download, place it in this path, okay, and then it will add it to your project. So this is the how that Maven work. Every time it will not going to download. This is I want to tell you. Is it clear? Okay. So here only I think actually I wanted to show you that Selenium dependency in one of the folder it is. So let us know this one. No, this is not the one. Okay. If I open this, yeah, this is the one, right? So if I come this, so you can see that it has stored the Selenium dependency here. You can see. So Chrome driver, you can see the version which we have placed, right? So two jar files. Okay. So likewise, it has created one repository in your local one, and if you provide that line again, it will first check whether you are having that version. So likewise, okay, so I have also worked with that 4 version. So it has already placed in my local, and it will just check, and if I am already having, it will just place it in my project. Okay, so this is how it will work. And after that, okay, so we are not working with this. I have told you for that understanding purpose. Okay, so now you can work with any of your Selenium code here once you will pull that dependency. So here I have written back test case, and earlier you saw that I am not able to get test ng at the rate test import statement. So you can see, but this time you will get import statement here. I think you will still not get. Why you are not getting? Because you have not provided test ng dependency. So let us get that test ng dependency as well from here only. Again I will write I want test ng. Just write it here. You can go with the latest version again. So okay, so this is the one. Click this. Okay, so come to this latest one. Okay, and after that just copy this. So you can see artifact id testng, which means I want testng jar file. Copy this. Okay, again. So as of now you will not see any testng jar file, right? All are Selenium and one is JUnit, which we were already having. Okay, so once I will come here again and paste that dependency inside that dependency tag, control save. Okay, so it will automatically, you can see building the work automatically is pulling, and it will place it here. So I think you can see that this is the testng jar. Okay, it has provided us. Okay, so whatever required for the testng point of view, it has just placed it here. So this time you see I will going to get that import statement here. You see import test org testng annotation. So earlier we were not getting because testng, because our project do not have the knowledge of testng. Okay, but once we provided the dependency, we got the knowledge. So this is the reason you are seeing this import statement. Okay, so anyways import that. So again after that save it. So likewise for the bike there is one test case, and for this class as well, let me write one test case here as well. So let me write that as it is a car class, I will write car test case, and I will write in my println car test case executed. Okay, so this is the regression test case. So here, whatever the test case I will define in this class, all are going to be a part of my regression test case. Okay, so I will define two test case here. Okay, not one. So I will say regression test case one.
The dependency code from form.xml of Selenium and TestNJ.
Sorry.
Dependency code that you have written in form.xml of Selenium and TestNJ.
Okay.
Can you please share in a chat?
Okay, no issue. So I have not written it. I have just copied. You can go to this website every time. Should I share? I will suggest you to have a look at this website and try to grab it
Please.
from here.
Okay.
Okay. Or should I share? Tell me. It's up to you.
Please share in chat. I will add.
Okay. Okay. So are you working with Pendle?
Kind of I have set up the Maven project.
Okay. I will save it. So anyways, you can get it from the website. It will be better. So you can have a look at anyways. So I think this is the one from here too. Copy this. Let me share it in the chat. So I will paste it here. Okay, so you can get it from here. Okay, so after that, okay, so yeah, we are here. So regression test case, I will say I will have two test case in my class. Regression test case one. Let me write one. Okay, so this is my first test case, so I will write regression test case one executed, right? Once it will execute, I will say in the output regression test case one executed, and suppose this is my second regression test case. So I will simply write regression tc2. It is the second, so I will name it as 2, and inside that I will write from here to here regression test case 2. Okay, so this is the output it will print. So likewise for the smoke test case as well, I will going to have two test case. Let me to create two more test case. Just I have to change the name, so I have copied it. So change the name. So instead of regression this time, I will say I want smoke test case. So suppose there is some dummy test case, so I will write smoke again, smoke test case 2. Okay, so I will write smoke test case 2 executed. Okay, fine. So after that, okay, so we have created this. Okay, so inside that Maven structure source test Java, I have one package which is having this name, and I have four classes, right? So inside that classes, I am having four test case. Sorry, I think five. Sorry, six. Two test case here in the regression one, two test case here in the smoke, and one here. So total of six test case we have. So if you want to run all your test case which are present inside these four classes with the Maven. So let us open the command prompt. Okay, we will going to execute each and every test from this command prompt. Okay, so let me clear the screen. After that, let me come to my C directory first. Cd dot dot. Okay, so after that, if I want to execute my Maven, you can say these are the four classes which will have my test case. If I want to trigger that all of them at once, how I will do? First of all, let me check where is my project located in my path. So come to that resource one, click resource. So this is the path where my project is present. Okay, copy the path and just change the directory, cd, change the directory from here to right click. After copying, right click and hit enter. So now we came to our project path. This is our project path. Okay, so if I open this, we have three Maven command, which is Maven clean. So this I think, okay, this is already covered, what is group ID and all. So let me come here. Yeah, Maven commands. So these are the three main commands. So let us understand them one by one. So what is this command? Maven clean. So as you can see, it attempts to clean the file and directory generated by the Maven during its build. Suppose you have run your program. So if I, let me show you as well. So open the directory first, at which directory it was talking. So where my project is present. Yeah. So every time when you will run your test case, this folder will be generated. Okay, so it will have some kind of classes and folders. Okay, so if you want every time, before, suppose after first run of the test case, I want to clean my project. I want that whatever the files it is generated for the first time, I want to clean this folder. Then I will just uh, use this command which is called maven clean, right? So this is the command we can use in our command prompt if we want to just remove the previous files generated by the Maven upon running our test case. You can use this command. There is second command as well, which that is Maven compile to check. Okay, so compile is straightforward, right? To compile means that it will check whether there are no coding errors in this test case, right? So once you will provide this command, it will just compile your all the classes and it will check whether no errors are present inside your code. So this is also, there is also one more you can say command which is called Maven test. It will actually trigger the test cases, right? So what are those test cases? So it will trigger all the 4 classes, and whatever the test cases you will have inside those classes, it will execute, right? So is it clear to everyone what are these 3 commands? Then we will see their practical use. Is it clear? Okay, so let us see that one by one. So before that, okay, so again I'm saying before that, if you want to execute your command, come to your project path. Okay, first, then it will work. Otherwise, it will not work. So let us go with the basic command maven clean. So you can see as of now, you can see that target folder here, right? So if I want to clean my project and remove that files, hit enter, and you will see this folder is going to be deleted from this path automatically. So you can see that that folder is deleted, and if I show you the path here as well, it has said I am just deleting that folder from this path. Okay, so this is what the clean command will do. After that, there is one more command which is called maven compile. This is my second command. So even if you provide, instead of this command, if you provide test command, okay, if you provide test command as well, then it will automatically compile as well, right? So you need not to provide that compile command every time, right? If you provide maven test, it will automatically compile as well. I will also show you in the logs which are generated, it is also compiling before running. So as of now, let us go with one by one. So I will write compile. So and maybe you will going to get one error here. So let us also see the error, and it is the most common error. So okay, we got the error, no issue. So what it is saying, source option 5 is no longer supported. Target option 5 is no longer supported. It is saying that version 5 is no supported. You can use some other version like 7 or later, or you can use the version 8. So what is this? If I show you in the Eclipse, right click the project, come to property, and if you select this Java code style, I think, yeah, Java compiler. So what happened, that whatever, so when we provide maven compile, so what this maven compiler is also going to use this jdk 1.5 version, right? So but what happened nowadays, that maven is not stable with this 1.5 version by default. Okay, let me come it here again. If I come here again, by default 1.5 is selected, and maven compiler is using this 1.5 version, but now maven is not compatible with this 1.5 version, right? So this is the reason it is saying 5 is no longer supported and use 7 or later. So by default 1.5 is present. So to avoid this situation, what I will do, so I will not going to make any changes here, okay, because you can get some kind of error. So best way to deal with this error is to, I have already have some lines. Okay, so if you copy this, so I have already written it here, tell your maven compiler to use 1.8 version. If you want to tell our compiler, just copy this and come to pom.xml file. Okay, so inside that, this is the one. Okay, so remove this, paste the file here, and press Ctrl and save. So what happened, if I provide like that, what is the error? Okay, error gone. So what I was saying, here I am providing, you can see the source 1.8. So let us first understand what is this source 1.8. So here, instead of 1.5, you can see what will happen. Earlier it was using 1.5 by default, but as we provided it like that, then Maven compiler will understand that I want to use this 1.8 version. So what this source 1.5, 1.8, sorry, if I write it here, after it let me write source 1.8 means if we want to use the features of Java 8, then you can go with this. Then this is the reason I'm providing source 1.8. And there is one more error you are getting. So here, what is the version it was using? 5. Okay, so 1.5 it was using, so 5 they have written. After that, this is the target one as well, same error with the target. So here in the target option as well, if I come here, target is the one. I have provided 1.8 version. So what this target says, so if I come to this one again, that target 1.8, it says if I want my all the 4 classes. So as of now we have only 4 classes in our project. So 4 classes. What are those classes? You can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? 4 are the classes. I want my all the 4 classes to be compatible with Java Virtual Machine 1.8. Right? So that JVM will going to provide this JVM will provide us that environment where we can run our test case. So this target option will say this. So likewise, okay, so what this source and target is saying I have told you here. So the most important thing we have to see here is I have just told my, okay, this is like this. So I'm just telling my compiler to no go with this 5 version. This is the version 5 and it was failing because it was not compatible. I'm just saying to use this 1.8 version, right? So after that, if I say that, save this and run that Maven compile. So this is the command I am running it again. If I hit enter this time, it will not throw the error because we are just telling to use the version 1.8 and it is saying use 7 or later. So I'm using version 1.8. So it has started. So I think I should open my command prompt again. It is taking more time. Okay, so it has started. So after that, you can say build success, right? So this time it did not have thrown any error, right? So is it clear to everyone? If you get that kind of error, how to resolve it?
Yes, yes. Please share code that you have added later.
This one as well. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So in the anyways, I would have shared that in the classroom as well. Okay. Anyways, let me paste it here. So this is the code. Okay, you can use. Okay. After that, we have to run our final. I have compiled the code successfully. Okay. I have to run my test case. So if I have to run, I will simply write the command Maven. MVN stands for Maven space test. Hit enter, and you will see it will going to run all your test case. So we have total of one here, two here, two here. So total of 6 test cases are present. And let us see the output of our test case. You can see total run 6. Okay. So is it clear to everyone that you can see by car, 2 test cases we have for regression and 2 test cases which we have for smoke. So is it clear to everyone that how we are executing these with the help of this command?
Yes.
Okay. So before going further, let me tell you one thing. Okay, so it is, see that Maven test, whatever the command you are seeing here, Maven test, it will just run all your test case. But I will suggest you to, before running this Maven test, just if you want to run the test case, download this plugin. There is one plugin which is called Maven. This is the plugin. Okay, so you are going to get many benefits from this plugin. So first of all, let us download this plugin. So how you have to do, so this is their official website. Okay, come to that usage, click this usage, and after that you will land here. So this is the plugin information. Copy that plugin information from here to here to here. Okay, so I will be telling you the importance of that plugin in a short while. So let us first get that plugin and come to your pom.xml file, and in, on the top of dependencies tag, right? So this is the parent tag. By default it is present, and after that you can paste the line here. So if I press Control and save, that plugin will go to uh, so I will suggest you to download that plugin before you try to run this Maven test, right? So this command work fine, but when we will see some other kinds of the command, then it might happen that these commands will not work without this plugin, right? So this plugin will simply help you to run your test case. Okay, and also if we want to run our test-ng XML, right? Test-ng XML with the help of this Maven, this plugin will help us. So we will be see them in a short while. So as of now, just place that plugin and let us try to run the test case again. So this time it will also going to run the same test case. We are going to get the same output. So okay, so output part is one thing, and I have told you that I am writing uh, when I was just making the class. I said to you that I am using uh, text after the end of every class name. You can see that I have made all the class name ending with the test. Why I am doing it, you will see it. So let us first see what is the output. So again you got the same output, which is fine. Okay, so but if I make one class, suppose if I, okay, let me do one thing. I will rename the class, rename to, this time I will remove that test, remove this, click on finish. And if I try to run the test cases again from the command prompt, okay, so just if I come here, if I will again write Maven test. So let us see what is the output we will get. So you can see that it is trying to compile as well automatically, right? So it has nothing to compile because all the classes are up to date. I have not provided the Maven compile, but it will still compile. Okay, so you do not have to provide that Maven compile all the time. So after that, so has it finished the execution? So it is okay. After that, you will see total test case on 5. Earlier, we are getting total count of 6, but that test case is not executed. And what is the test case? Byte test case. Why? I hope you are able to understand that this test case is not executed when I have not provided test at the end of this test case. So keep in mind whenever you are working with Maven, and if you want to trigger your test case with the help of Maven, then Maven will not recognize your class if you do not provide test. So this is the reason I was providing, you can say, test at the end of this. Okay, so keep in mind, provide this every time when you are working with Maven, and if you try to run this time, you will see the count is total of 6. So let us check whether we are getting the actual count. So running total of 6. So you can see that this time we got the output as 6, and this test case is also executed, right? So is it clear to everyone that this thing total 6? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is one thing. So suppose as of now I am executing all the 4 test case. But suppose client come to you and client will say me that I want to run only this test case. I do not want to run bike regression and smoke. So how will you do that? So in Maven as well, there is one command which is called, I think I've already written it. Okay, let me write it again. There is one command in Maven command. So let me write it like that. So first we have discussed Maven test that will going to trigger all the test case. This is one command. Second is if we want to run any particular test case. So there is one command which is called Maven hyphen d test. Okay, and after that just write the class name. So whatever the class name you will have, name, and after that write test. So okay, let me write class name. So this command will help you in executing only one particular test case, right? So if I execute the same command here in my command prompt, see here. Suppose client came and said to me, I want to run this class test case only. So only we are going to get one output. So let me first clean the screen, okay, CLS, and after that I will write my command d test equals to. So what is the class name? Which is car test. Simply write, I think capital C is present there. Yeah, capital C A R test. After that you have to write test. Okay, so this is mandatory, and this will be your class name that will keep on changing every time. The rest of the things are constant. Hit enter. You will see only one test case is going to. Okay, I think it is stuck. Let me hit enter. Okay, so it has started again. You can see test run one, car test case executed, right? So you can see that with the help of if you again the client will come and client will say I want to run only smoke test, then I will again use the same concept. I will say Maven hyphen t test equals to smoke. This is the class name, and I will say test. So this time, okay, I should have. This time I will going to get one error because the test is not okay. So anyways, again let me write test. Okay, this time I will going to get the result. So only two test cases will execute, and both of those test cases are smoke test case. So you can see a smoke test case. So this way only smoke test case are executed, right? So again the client will have some different things to do. So client will say I want to run, suppose there are 100 test cases, right? As of now we have 4, let us assume 100. Client will come and say I want to execute only bike and car test case only. So you can do one thing that first you will execute bike test case and then you will execute car. But I think you want that if I want to execute each those two classes, then how we can do if client will come and say execute only these two classes. So in this command only you have to do some modification. So suppose this is my class name 1. Okay, class name 1, put one comma and provide the class name 2, class name 2, right? So this way if you want to execute multiple file, likewise if your client will come and I want to trigger the smoke test case as well, provide the smoke test case class name. So this way it will going to trigger 3 class. So as of now let us see with the 2. So car and bike. Okay, so if I want to trigger it, so let me clear the screen again. So this is the command, and after that let me write car test class and put one comma and provide bike test. This way only these two classes will going to execute and your test case will going to run. So let us see. So it is, so you can see bike and car test cases are executed. So is it clear to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let us see some more modification here.
So maximum how many we can execute like that?
Sorry,
How many we can execute like that, like mentioning the test case name?
it's up to you. See, let us check. I think there is not any particular integer for that. So if I want to run all of these at a time, so let us check. Okay, so I don't think that that will be an exact number. It's up to you how many you want to execute. But see, suppose if you have 100 test case, suppose in this package if you have 100 test case, so will you going to write each and every file test case here? So as of now let us check. Okay, then I will tell you one thing. So car and bike, and after that there is one more which is regression. So I think there is not any particular number. If I say smoke, so for the test cases it will be good. You can write all the four classes: car, bike, regression, and smoke. If I hit enter, it will again going to run all the four classes. Okay, hit enter. You can see all the 6 test cases have run. So is it clear? But suppose you are having 100 test case, 100. Okay, in this package you are having 100 test case. So will you going to be write every file name in this command prompt, right? So that will not be a good option. So in that file you can, what you can do, you can create one testng xml file. Okay, I hope you know the little bit about testng xml file. So you can create one testng xml file. Inside that testng xml file there are 100 test cases. Okay, and then you have to just execute that particular testng xml file. So is it clear to you now that okay, so let us discuss that testng xml file. So suppose I want to, just assume I am having 100 test case here. As of now we are having only 4. Suppose you are having 100 test case. So I will first create one testng xml. So right click your project, testng, and create convert to testng. That will give me one xml file. Click on finish. So this time, okay, click this source. So you can see this is the testng xml file, and it will have all the 4 classes, right? So likewise if you have 100, then like that there will be going to 100 classes, and within one click you will be able to execute, right? You do not have to provide all the class names in that Maven. Okay, so that will be very big to do that. Okay, and it is not feasible to do. So suppose if I created one testng xml file, and if I want to execute my testng xml file from here, okay, with the help of Maven, so you have to again use this plugin. So I have already told you that this plugin will help us to trigger our testng xml file. Okay, so how we can do? So again you can come to their official website, which is this one, right? So if you want to see, okay, so whatever the things you want to learn, you can learn it from here. I have also uh, learned everything from here only. Okay, so if you want to use testng, you can see they have provided using suite xml file, right? It is saying if you want to use testng xml file, okay, then this is your plugin. Okay, inside that plugin, after that you can say version tag, this is the tag, provide there these 4 lines from here to here. So let us copy the file. Okay, and if I provide that to my xml file, I think it is version, this is the version tag, provide that version tag here. So what will happen when you will provide Maven test? So what will happen? Earlier, when you will provide this command, earlier what happened, we do not have this 4 lines here, right? So what will happen, it just triggered all the 4 test cases. But when I will provide this 4 lines here configuration, so it will first check that configuration tag, and it will come to know that this time I do not have to execute each and every test case. I want to just execute this testng xml, which is this one. Okay, so this is how if you want to trigger that if you have several test cases, close them in that one testng xml file and just provide that command. So if I provide, let me first save that. I think I have already saved it. Okay, save it. So this time if I see, if I try to run Maven test, okay, you will see your testng xml file will going to run, and it will going to trigger all the 4 test cases. So right now you will not going to see any difference, because this testng xml file will have all the 4 class, so you will going to get the same output count, which is 6. Okay, so it I will run. Okay, so 6 this time when we have told Maven test. But if I make some changes in my this file, then you will see the difference. So suppose I will remove the regression test case from this file. Okay, so this time if I provide the same command Maven test, this time we will not see the regression test case in our output. So let us check again. You can see only 4 test cases are run and the regression test cases are not present. Why? Because this time we are executing our testng XML, right, which is this one. So is it clear how you can trigger your testng XML?
Yes.
Okay, so let us see some more modifications to this. Suppose I am having one more testng XML. Let me copy this XML only. Okay, copy this and paste it here. Click this and Control V. It will ask you for that name and let me name that file as regression. So this is my regression testng XML. So from the name it is very clear that I will going to provide all my regression test case in this file. Okay, so this is the reason I am naming this, and let me also rename this. I will rename this to I think smoke testng. This testng XML file will going to you can say execute it. Okay, execute smoke test case. So we have two testng XML. So if I open this, so here I think we have. So let me do one thing. I want to only include regression test case. So that test case is present in my regression class. So I think this is the class name. I think regression, right? So I will write regression test. Sorry, not here. Regression. So write it the class name regression. And okay, so this is the class name. So I am just saying if you trigger this testng XML, then only regression test cases are going to execute. Okay, and if I open this one, yeah, fine. Here in this XML I will say I will only have a smoke test case. So this is the one. Remove everything and just I will place my smoke test. So what will happen? I will just say every time that okay, so what is the client requirement? Understand here. Client will come to you, okay, and said I want to execute this testng XML because this testng XML will have my regression test case. So I want to just test the regression test case. So execute this. So okay, so the whatever the person who will work on this, he will say okay, I will come to my pom.xml file and I will just rename this testng XML to the regression one. So that way I will be able to trigger your regression test case. So this is the name. Save it. Okay, so he will run again. Let me clear the screen. Okay, so he will run and after that he will just say Maven test, after Maven test, and this way, as we have provided this name, this is the name, right? So this time only regression test case will going to execute because we have provided this class. Okay, so let us see only the regression test cases are executed or not. You can see okay, so 4 executed, and I think the reason is okay. So anyone can tell why we got the 4 test cases here. This is one simple mistake I made. This time I should have get only regression test case, but I'm getting this. Why this happened?
Didn't save it, I guess.
Yeah, that is the correct one. You notice. So you can see the star here, right, on the top. So I have not saved this file. Save it now. This time you will see only regression test case. So let us check. Running test suite. So you can see only 2 test cases are executed this time, right? Which is nothing but the test cases. Okay, so client will come. So you have just done the work for the client, and client will next day client will come and client will say to you, I want to run only this XML because it will just trigger my all the smoke test case. So that person, so as a person, suppose you are working on that. So as a person, will you going to change this file again every time when client will come every day and client will again say regression, then you will make a change here again and the client will say I want to run a smoke, then will you going to again change it, or you can, so is it the best way according to you? What do you think, to change that file every time upon
So
the,
I think creating new one is the best one
sorry?
because creating another XML
Okay.
and whenever required you can run that one because in the project it may be required many times, right? So
No, no, we will not create any new experiment. So we have that we have those experiment, I'm saying, and client sometimes want this to execute and client sometimes want this to execute. So every time that will not be a good way to change the file name every time. You should have some control. What I'm saying, you should have some control over this plugin. So when the client will say regression I want to run, from that command prompt itself, I will say I want to run regression test case, and automatically this will be called. So to do that, we will use one Maven concept, okay, which is also one of the important concept, which is called Maven profiling. So how we can do that? See here, profiling. Yeah. So let me highlight it. So this concept we will use. With the help of this concept, we can handle this situation. So how? So that is, me open my pom.xml, and on the top of that build tag, I will create one tag which is called profiles, and after this is the parent tag. You can say profiles is the parent. Inside that profiles tag, we can have multiple profile. So we can have profile one. Okay, so this is my first profile and this is my second profile. This is the profile. So this is the parent and this is the child one of the parent. Inside that profile, I will provide one more tag which is called ID, and I will provide the ID. So I want to run regression, so I will provide regression. You can provide any name according to the situation. So I think that this ID will be the most suitable. So once you will provide the ID and whatever the you can say uh, plugin, okay, whatever you have defined, cut this, copy, or you can say cut this plugin and just paste that whole text here. So what will happen? So let us, as this is my regression ID, I will rename this as regression, right? So I will provide the exact you can say file name, right? So this is one. Again, this we have done. Again, I will create one more profile for smoke test ng file. So this is the second child, okay. That first child has ended here. Inside that, again I will create one more ID tag, and that ID tag name will be smoke. You can give any name again, okay, it's up to you, but I think smoke will be the most feasible because we have to run a smoke test case. So I will provide the smoke ID. So copy this again from here to here. Again, you have to do one minor change. Okay, so this is the one. Just provide the test ng XML here, which is smoke. So from the command prompt, okay, from the command prompt, suppose client come and say to me, I want to run a smoke test case. From the command prompt, I will provide this ID, and automatically Maven will come and execute this. So once it will execute this will going to be execute. Again, from the next day, client come and client says, I want to execute only regression test case. I will just provide, I will not going to make any change in my file, just I will provide this ID name regression. So Maven will come here and automatically going to execute this. So this is how you can use the Maven profiling concept. It is called Maven profiling concept. And let us also see the command. So to run that particular test ng XML, there is one simple command in Maven. I will write Maven hyphen provide one space and provide hyphen p. P stands for profiling, right? So what is the profile ID? Suppose I will write my ID name here, okay. So smoke or regression as of now, whatever be the ID name, okay. So after that I have to write test and then hyphen p. So let me highlight this and let me, yeah, I will highlight this. So if you provide like that, see what will happen. Let me clear the screen again. if I write maven test hyphen p, capital P, and I will provide my ID name. So suppose client come and said to me, I want to run smoke test case. I will provide the ID name. So ID name is smoke. Okay, just provide smoke here. Write smoke. Hit enter. So let us see what is the output we are going to get. So I think we have already saved the file. So we are going to get the correct output, which is our smoke test case should going to run. So you can see smoke test case 1 executed and smoke test case 2 executed, right? So again client will come and say to you that I want to run only regression test case. Again I will going to use the same command, which is maven test hyphen p. This time what is the ID name for the regression test case you have defined? I think, yeah, this is the ID name, right? So whatever be the ID name, you can pass it here. Regression. Okay, so hit enter. This time only regression test ng XML will going to execute. You can see regression test case 1 and test case 2. So is it clear to everyone how to use this profiling concept?
Yes.
Okay, so I will do one thing that if you want to take the notes, let me also provide it here. Okay, anyways, I will paste that in the classroom after the class. You can see, let me copy this and paste it here. Okay, you can copy. Okay, so this is the, okay, so whatever is required for the maven from the testing point of view we have covered. And when you will work with the framework development, I think from the next or the second next class. Okay, so here there as well you will see that we are going to use this maven. Okay, whatever the framework we are going to develop, we are just creating first maven project and then we will develop our project, our framework. So because in the framework as well you are going to get in the framework as well you have to use TestNG, you have to use page object model and many things, right? So you do not have to again and again each time get the dependency from your machine. Just use this. So there as well we are going to use maven, right? So till maven it is clear to everyone, then I will discuss one more concept quickly.
Yes.
Okay, so let me proceed forward. Let us discuss one more new concept.
Sumit, actually, I'm getting one error.
What is the
When
error?
when I'm writing ambient test, then there are two classes. Only one test is giving output. Only one class is giving output.
Okay, so after the class we will see, right? So keep that in
Okay.
your, keep that code to you, right? Then we will see. Okay, so let us first discuss one more concept, then we will see. Okay, so how, if I want to take, this is, suppose if I open Amazon website, so this maven part we have discussed whatever is required. If I open this, if I want to take the screenshot of this website, okay, how we are going to take the screenshot, right? So to take the screenshot, let me, okay, let me do one thing. Let me create another project, right? I will create one more maven project. I will click new. You can click again maven. This is the one. You can again select this template. Click start. So you can work with that screenshot code without this, without the normal project as well. But here again as well you have to again copy the dependency one by one. So instead of doing that, I will take the help of maven. So again, let me, master project can be the name, and let me provide a screenshot as my sub project name. So this will be going to my project name. Click on finish, and after that it will take some time. So let me minimize this. Okay, so this is the project I am working on, and inside this one let me create one class. So first delete this one. I don't want to require this. I will create one class named screenshot demo. New class, SCREN. So this time I will use public static void main. Okay, you can use @text annotation and do that, but here I will use this one. So if I want to take the screenshot, first we have to open the website, and if we have to open the website, I need to invoke my Chrome browser. So to do that, I will write again the same step. This is the one. What is the key? Okay, let me write it again. WebDriver.chrome driver, and after that I will provide what is the path. I think, yeah, sorry, this is not the one. We have to get the path of .exe file. So here I am already having. Copy that .exe file path and just paste it here, and after that you have to write the file name from driver.exe at the end. Okay, otherwise it will not be able to execute the browser. From driver.exe file. Okay, this is the one thing. After that, what I have to do, just write the WebDriver driver, but you will see this time it will not work because I do not have any Selenium dependency in my project. So let us check. I should not be getting that import statement. Capital D will come here. So if I try to import it, you will see you are not getting any import statement. Why? Because you have not pasted the Selenium dependency. So let us get that from that website again. How to get? Click this website link and again write Selenium Java. Search it. Okay, after that, okay, so you can go with the latest one, but as of now let me go with this one. Okay, you can try the other version as well. Copy this, and you can see that this will have only one dependency, right? This project. So if I open this, so inside this tag, paste it here and control and save. So you will see automatically it build the required jar. If I click this import statement, you will see import, and here as well. So after that I have to open the website. So what is the website URL? I think it is amazon.com. Copy the URL and paste it here. After that, okay, so if we have to take the screenshot, first you have to open the URL and after that convert, or you can say typecast your driver object to take a screenshot. Okay, so once we will typecast, convert our driver object to that take a screenshot object. So yeah, take a screenshot SHOT. Okay, so what I'm saying, if you want to take the screenshot, first you have to typecast your that driver object. This is our driver object. It can be any name. Okay, to take a screenshot object. So how we can do that? Just write driver. Before that I will write, I am just changing my driver object to takes screenshot. Okay, so let me import the package. Okay, so after that let me put one more bracket because I have to use one method. If I do like that, I will use one method which is called get screenshot edge. So this method is saying if I want to get the screenshot, but in what format you want the screenshot. I will say I want to get the screenshot in the file format. So I will say output type should be file. Give me the screenshot in the form of file. So file. Let us import the package. Import this, and let me remove this. We do not require it here. Okay, so capital S instead of capital S should be small s. Fine. So what this line is doing, we don't have any more error. First I am typecasting my driver object to this object. So to this one, take a screenshot, and once we will typecast our object, now there is one method which is called get screenshot. This method is saying get the screenshot, and the screenshot output is in the file format. So once I will get the screenshot, I want to cache that in one variable. So suppose my variable name is src. So whatever the screenshot will come from here to, whatever the screenshot you will get from this line will be placed here. But I'm saying what is the file, what is the format? It should be file format. So this variable has also, this variable should also be of the type file. So I will write file, import the package. This is the class. Why I'm creating that file class? Because the output type is file. So the variable which hold that screenshot should also be of that type file. You can say this is the class. Okay. So once we will get the screenshot here, now my next motive is to copy the screenshot whatever we are having it in this variable from here to my local directory. Suppose I want my screenshot to be or you can say, yeah, here. Suppose I want let us say in this videos box. Okay, this time let us say video. So if I want to, you can say, yeah, so I am already having other videos as well, okay, from the other batches. So you can see if I want to get the screenshot here, so let me copy the, okay, I will copy the path later on. So let us write some small, let me use some class. So which is called, this is one class that will help us to copy our, actually this class will have one method. That method will help us to move that screenshot from this variable to our local system, right? So to use the method of that class, again I have to import the package. So let me, okay, so I am not getting that import statement here, as you can see. So this is present. I have to use dependency. There is one dependency that will contain this class dependency, which is called commons IO, right? So first of all, let us get this dependency from the Maven repository, then only we will be able to use this class. So come here again. So type commons IO, commons. So I am again, it is suggesting me, so click this and search. After that, click this first one and okay, so go with the latest one. You can go it here, copy this. So you can see artifact ID commons IO, which means I want all the jars related to this commons IO, right? So copy this and just save it in your form.xml and just inside that dependencies tag, paste it here, control save. You will see that some, okay, so one file we got, I think this is the one, right? Commons IO, right? We got this file. Once we got this file, come here. This time if I say import, okay, so it is still not showing. Let us remove this. Okay, so it is still not showing. Save it. This time I think it, okay. Are we getting any kind of file? Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me write the code after that dot. Okay, so it is suggesting me that why it is not importing. Let us check in a few seconds. Dot copy the file. So this method will help you to copy the file. So here you have to provide, okay, so it has imported. Okay, if I save, you can see this is present in commons IO, right? So we have just get that dependency from that Maven repository. After that we can import. So this is the source file. So here in that source one you have to provide this variable, because this variable will hold the screenshot. Okay, after that I want to copy that variable to that my local path. So I will say I will create one new file with the help of new, and where I have to paste that file. So this is the path. Let us check where this folder is present. So inside that videos folder, copy this and just paste it here. After that, we have not provided our file name. So what is the file name? Let us say I want the file name to be screenshot. You can define any file name, and after that you have to say I want whether I want JPG or PNG. So I want the JPG format. So this is the reason I am giving not a JPG, right? After that, click on this add throws declaration. That will do the work for you. And what will happen once this program will execute? First, our screenshot will be captured here. after that, with the help of this class, we are copying our file. We are copying our screenshot from here to this local path, right? And what is the screenshot having that name? This screenshot will have the name this. So let us try to run this. Let us save it and try to run. So website open. Okay, so I think it has taken the screenshot. So let us check. You can see program terminated, which means execution is finished. After that, let us come to that videos folder. Okay, let me open it again. So that was the, this was the folder. You can see a screenshot, right? You can see if I open this, you will find the screenshot. So open this. Okay, so I hope it is clear to everyone that how you can take the screenshot. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so here this is one thing, but here you can see that I got the screenshot of only particular. You can see if I open the website, that website is this one. I got the screenshot of the part which is visible at a time, but I want, my client want that I want to take the screenshot of the whole page. Then how you are going to do that? Okay, what I'm saying, if I want to get the screenshot of the whole web page, how you can take the screenshot? So to do that, there is one. Okay, so we have done with the simple one how to take the screenshot of the part which is visible. But if I want to take the screenshot of the entire page, so there is one API, AShot API. This API. This API will help us to take entire page screenshot. So to use this API, right, again we have to get some dependency. Okay, so to get the dependency, just type on the Google AShot API, AShot Maven dependency, right? So once you type like that, you will get two links. This is the one and this is the one. I will suggest you to go with this one, or you can go with this one. But I got some kind of issues with this one while using this. I got some errors. Okay, some unnecessary error. So I will go with this one. That one was stable. So here I will go with this one. Here also you will see that here you want to get it like that. Ultimately it is that Maven repository only. Okay, so copy this second link and just come to this again inside the dependencies folder, paste to the path, paste to this line. So again you will going to get some of the dependencies here. So you can see AShot jar file is present in our now we can work with that AShot dependency, sorry, API. So to do that, let us create with the help of new keyword. I will say a short. With the help of new keyword, I am just creating one object. So it is in import. So click on this import. Okay. Once we create the object, okay. So I will, if I say dot, that will give me some of the methods, right? So what is the method which we have to use? We have to use this method. So let me write it. I will. Okay. So I will do one thing. Dot. If I dot should, this is the one, right? Inside that, I hope you are able to see that it is, there is one class as well, right? So I have to provide that one class as well inside that method. So what is the class name? Shooting strategy, capital STRA dot. This, okay, so I have I written the class name is correct. Okay, I think it is. Yeah, it was I think, yeah, shooting strategy, right? So this is the class, import it. Okay, so before import, let us try to use the method which is dot, I think, viewport. Viewport. Okay, I have to write it again. Dot view Oh, yeah, this is the one. Okay, this is not the one. Again, let me write it. Dot view. So this is the one, right? Integer of time. Integer is full timeout, right? So click this. Okay. After that, at the end, dot takes. So okay. So what this timeout will be? Let me provide 1000 as of now. So what is this number? I will be coming to this point in a short while. Dot. After that, I will use one more method which is called takes. So you can go with this one and provide your driver object. So our driver object is this. So provide it here. Okay. After that, this will give me. So this line will going to take the screenshot. So let us understand that this line one by one again. So this is the object I've created. This is the class. You can see if I place my mouse, this is the class, right? After creating the object, if I put dot operator, I will going to get some method. So this method will define when you are taking the screenshot, what kind of strategy you have to define. So one strategy can be, if I open this Amazon website again. So if you want to take the screenshot of the whole website, my strategy was going to be, I want to take the screenshot and also I have to, you can say, drag this to the end of the page. Okay, so this is the strategy you can use. Okay, so this is the only one, right? If you drag it, then only you will able to take the screenshot. Okay, and then I will stop here. So this method will define some strategy. So this is the class and this is the method. If I place the method here, show you, uh, this method will actually provide the strategy, right? Will scroll while shooting, will scroll the viewport while shooting. So it is saying I will, this method will scroll down. So suppose website open, and what this method will do, this method will scroll down. Okay, scroll down, and also it will going to take the screenshot. So this way this method will work. So it will take the screenshot. After that, what is this number? Actually this 1000 is in the millisecond, and 1000 millisecond equals to 1 second. So if I provide a 1000 here which is equal to 1 second, then what happened when the website will open, it will drag this to the bottom of the website in a fast way, right? Because the time is 1 second we have defined. But if I provide somewhere like 10,000, which is equal to 10 seconds, right? So what will happen? Website will open. This website again suppose open. After that 10 second it will come here. After that 10 second it will come here. Like that it will take more time. So if your website is taking longer to load, then you can define that more time here in this parenthesis, right? So this is what this number is saying. And let me provide 1000 as of now, right? I want that to scroll in a fast way. Once we will take that, give that. So what is this? Takes the screenshot of the entire page. Okay, so it will take the screenshot and it will give the screenshot. So once I will give the screenshot with the help of this entire line, I have to again catch that just we did here, right? So let me define that source here, src. So what this again I will say what this line will give you. After coming to this, after coming from here to here, I will be going to get whole screenshot of the web page in this variable, right? So what this variable should be of type, it should be of type, if I write like that, import that class. So this class have the capability to hold the result of the screenshot, or you can say screen capture. So this is the reason I'm just creating one variable which is of this type, this class, so that it can hold our screenshot. So is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? Sorry.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, so once again I will go the screenshot here. Again I want to copy that screenshot from my local from my this variable to my local directory. So how we can do that? So here it is quite different from the previous one. So there we will use this class image IO. So this is the class that will have one method which is called write. So if I come yeah, so if I provide a space, and after that provide, so this, what is this? This is the variable, this is the source variable that will going to have our entire screenshot of the web page. What is the format? I want my format to be in the format PNG. Okay. After that, output, in the output again you have to provide the path. So let us provide this file, this path again. So before that, write new file, new file, and after that provide this. Okay, again we are going to use the same path from here to here, and let us say the file name this time will be suppose, what is the file name I can provide? I can write full screen. You can give any name, screen capture. So if I try to run this, will it work? I think no, because there is, okay, source new file. What is the issue? Save it. The method is not available for the string file. So I think we have made, what is the mistake? Okay, so what mistake I have done? This this variable src will have that your entire screenshot, right? But here the things are different. If you want to get the image from this variable, src variable, if you want to get the screenshot, there is one method which is called get. So this method will say get me the screenshot. So this way I will get the screenshot here, and that screenshot will going to have that png format. And once I will get that screenshot, I will going to paste that in this path, which is, so as you can see that as of now it do not have any file with that name. Okay, but once you will run this, you will see this file name here, right? So let us try to execute it and then see whether it is able to take the screenshot of the whole web page or not. So fingers crossed. So let us try to run this. So website open, then it will try to scroll within a gap of 1 second. Once website will load, it is still loading, as you can see on the left top. So after that, the website loaded, and it will scroll. It will try to scroll down. You can see within a gap of 1 second, it is trying to come down. And when it will reach the end of the website, it will automatically stop. So yeah, we came here and then our program execution is finished. You can say terminated, right? So let us check our videos folder. Okay, so I think this time we are not going to get our desired output. So you can see that this file is not, okay, I got the issue. Actually I was trying to type of file. Okay, so why we do not get that file? Because I have not provided extension at the end of this file. Okay, so even if you provide png here, provide at the end of file name as well. Okay, so let me do one thing. So delete that file. This time we will. So this is the file. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, but this is not our actual image, so delete this because we have not provided .png. So this time if I try to run, and let me do one thing, I will maximize the window. It will not going to change our image, but anyways let me maximize. Maximize window. Let us see this time. This time you are going to get the correct output. So website again open, and after website will load completely, it will again scroll down. It is started. and it will reach till the end, then it will stop. So let us check our folder this time. Program is successfully completed, as you can see, terminated. Okay, and come to that, open this videos folder. So here you can see full screen capture. This time it has just captured the screenshot of the whole web page. So this is with the help of Ashot API. You can also perform this task. So is it clear to everyone? You can see till the end. Okay, so this is the end of the page. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please share that code in classroom also.
Yeah, I will share. Don't worry. Okay, so one more thing I would like to tell here. So here you might be thinking that, so when we have to take the screenshot, suppose uh, here I am just taking the screenshot of the web home page, right? But every time the condition where you have to take the screenshot is, suppose if you come to this, suppose there is one test case, and what is that automated test case will say that I have to come to this mobile tab, or let me not come to this, let me come to this. Okay, so uh, that automated test case has to verify whether this button is, this text save changes is present on the top of the button or not. Okay, so what you will do, you will write one test case, and with the help of get text method you will fetch this text from the button, and then you will compare whether it is equal to the save changes or not. So if your test case will pass, which means if the text which you are assuming it will be here, suppose what I'm trying to say, let me try to write here as well. So on the top of that string text, I want that what is the text should be present when I use get text method. This text should be present. Changes, and suppose after using, so here I am not using, right? You can do that if you want to, just for the understanding purpose I am telling. After using get text, which is the most common method in Selenium, you extracted the text, which is again the same, right? So you extracted this text. There it is. Not here, I think it is here. So you got this text which is save changes, and you have just stored that in that one variable string button. Okay, so after you will got the text, suppose you got the same text. Okay, you are going to get the same text after using get text. Then what you will do, you will just compare, you will provide one if else. Okay, here I will provide if else, but in when you will develop the framework, you are not going to use this if else there. Okay, there we will use some other concept. So if I will say, if the text what I am assuming that should be present on the website, if that text is equals to the button text which we are getting from the website, if that will hold true, then I will say for the understanding point of view, no need to take a screenshot. Test is working fine. So why you want to why you want to take the screenshot if your test case is working, right? You want to take the screenshot only when your test case will fail. Suppose if you suppose the button text which you got is like that, it got changed to like that. So in that case, what will happen? Your test case will going to fail, and you will come here in the else condition. So here, suppose I will write system.out.println test case failed, different text found, something like that, anything. And once I will found that my test case is failing, so whenever, so the what will happen when you come, once you come here, okay, so before that, before the Chrome closes, right, your test case is present here and it will compare. Okay, and as soon as you get that, your test case will fail here. Okay, after that you have to take the screenshot of this page, right? So what I will do, I will just provide the test case code, that screenshot code here, right? So that whenever my test case fail at a particular point, then only I have to take the screenshot. Okay, so this is the condition. Okay, so here there are many scenarios you can think of, but here as of now understand that what when we have to take the screenshot, right? We do not have to every time blindly and then just get the screenshot of the home page. Whenever our test case will fail at particular point, we want the screenshot of that web page and store that here I am just storing that in my local system. But to if you want to show that screenshot to the client, so you will not going to show that you can say screenshot to that client. You will not say that, so sir, this is my directory. You will not say like that, our test case is failed and this is my directory and this is the screenshot of the failed test case, right? So if you do like that, then client will stop the billing for you. So what we will do when we will work with the framework section, here we will use that extend report as well. We will use report. So here whatever the screenshot you will get, suppose my one test is failed, so one report will be generated and you are going to paste that not paste, you will whatever the screenshot you are getting that in your local directory, we will send that screenshot there in the report. So this report will help us, so we will be seeing that in our framework lecture, right? So as of now this is sufficient, that how to take the screenshot, and in the framework as well you can use this same code, right? So is it clear to everyone that how to take the screenshot and under what condition you have to take the screenshot?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's all for today, and I will be sharing that whatever the code I have, and that I will also share this one as well, okay, after the lecture. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending today's session. I hope I made things clear to you.
1 second.
Yeah, Arjun.
Actually,
Yeah, what is the issue?
I have two classes and both have name cached in them, but only one class is executing.
So
Can I share my screen if you wish?
okay, sure, share. Rest of the people can leave. It's up to them. So let me
Kindly
stop.
stop
Yeah, stop
so
the
that I will
recording.